Okay. I was watching TV one day and I was watching this interesting show and I was like thinking it was really cool and it was good, and so I did some more research on it. I just went online and looked at it more, and there were some pretty provocative scenes, and at first it kind of disgusted me and I wanted to turn off, but there was something that just clicked and I just kept watching and watching and kept watching more videos and clicking more links, and the deeper I got into it, the more hard it became for me to stop. I tried to stop watching pornography on my own a lot of times, but it's not something that you can do on your own. I did more research on it and I realized that pornography is like a drug, and when you watch it there's chemicals released in your brain the same way as you would a drug. And it just became addictive and something I craved constantly. And I would push away my friends and my family, and it became really hard for me to connect with people because I just felt disgusted with myself all the time. And even in volleyball, whenever I would mess up on the court or just fail in any way, that would relate back to my life, and I would constantly just feel like a constant failure. And I just couldn't handle it anymore, and I ended up snapping at my team once, and it just wasn't, it just takes over your life. It went on for probably a good year. I can say I try calling out to God, but I know that it's just an excuse, and that I would only cry to Him during church or worship, and afterwards I would just go right back into my old ways of doing things, and it wouldn't really, I don't know, I never really let it sink into my heart. And then this summer I was at a leadership conference and I went to a session on sex slavery, and there they talked about that most people in pornography are sex slaves, whether they believe it or not, and that they were just brought up to believe that's all they were good for, and that's all they were worthy of, and that just sickened me, and I couldn't watch it after that, and that was, I don't know, that was my turning point, because after that I just wasn't able to watch it without feeling literally sick to my stomach. And I kind of prayed to God, like, keep me sick. Every time I think of this, or every time I'm tempted to watch pornography, just instill in me just a sickness and a, I don't know. I think I just need to be physically reminded that this wasn't what God wants for my life, and that He wants so much more prepared for me. And I became a really good liar to myself about why what I was doing was okay when it wasn't. Like, oh, it's not that bad because it's not as hardcore as what it could be, or like, I don't know. I would just find ways around it, and I was really good at lying to myself and lying to others and lying to God. I told my parents finally, and that helped a lot. And they were really comforting, and I was actually really surprised. I was scared. It took me a long time to open up to them, but that was really encouraging and helpful. And I talked to a few teachers, and they were able to help me through it. Yeah, I think just having support through it all was good. I find now I'm able to talk to people and smile and laugh genuinely without faking it anymore, because before it was just a fake happiness, because porn was the only happiness I thought I could find. And then God just revealed to me like how much more of a pleasure it is to be in full-hearted worship with Him than it is to be watching porn. I find that when I'm tempted, even just like putting a worship song on, or I have this one friend that's been through me with it all, even just texting him and saying like, hey, like I need help. Yeah, just accountability, and even just taking the steps to like put your phone away, because like it's so easy for everyone to access. Like, it's at your fingertips, anybody can do it, and it's free, and it's like it's like the largest industry in the world right now. And I just think, if it's the largest industry in the world, why aren't we talking about it, and why does it have to be such a taboo subject? You know, it's always been something that's labeled just for guys, that guys struggle with, and that's why it's so hard for me or other girls to talk about it, even though I know girls that struggle with it, because everyone just says it's a guy's problem, girls don't struggle with it, but girls are in the porn, they're like, girls are watching it too, and it's a struggle. It's just I don't know, it's a struggle for lots of people. I haven't watched it for a long time, but they're like, I'm still tempted a lot, but it's not as big of a temptation as before, because before I would just immediately just fall into it because I needed a release. I read once that It's like you watch porn and then you get upset with yourself and you feel guilty and you're mad and you take it out on yourself over and over and you need a release of some sort, and so you end up just watching it again as a release, and then it's just a vicious cycle that keeps going and going. So, I am Laura Taylor and I am second.